Hi, Dave Snyder here. It is the 4th day of October 2016, and this is weather from probably sometime around March, it looks like. I'm not sure. It's at least a couple years old anyways. But it's a very interesting image, and I've showed this before, but I usually show one that's very similar to this. I show that one more often. This one I took a good look at the other day, and I can't believe these spots right here. They just tell so much. These three orange spots right here. I'll bet that those are the three most hit areas on for hurricanes. I bet you they hit here these three spots more often than anywhere else along the East Coast. Right there in the Carolinas, right here in Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, this area here. We already know all these areas, the Carolinas and Florida, and this area, near Louisiana. This area has got hammered with rain this year. I mean, this whole triangle shape right here basically was flooded. Major rain, and you can see it right there. This is from a couple years ago, and you can see it in this picture better than any new weather that they give you. The weather things that I see, they don't show that kind of stuff really. They make it more scattered, make it hard to see these details like this. This is a detail that's important. That hurricane right now is like right here somewhere, right? And if you look at the Knoll School right now, it's crazy. Knoll School is crazy right now. It's changes so much every day. It's unbelievable. But anyways, what I see right going on. Oh, this is I just did an overlay with this right here. This is like the biggest seamount, in the Pacific. At least right here. This right here, even bigger than Hawaii, the Big Island, Hawaii, or whatever. I just did an overlay with that because what this is showing is kind of the way that the ocean is shaped. There's like this round curve right here that hits like a wall, and it's like that when you look at the regular thing on Google Earth. It looks that way, the overlay. And I've always imagined it like that, pretty much. I've done some overlays with it before and come up with some really interesting things where it just put itself in place on its own. That program, yeah, I got it somewhere. But anyways, this right here started out over here, and you look at the weather in North America right now. It's very weird. You got this all of this being pulled north, right? It looks like it's all being pulled north, but you got this it's coming around this edge and coming up here, but this part's like being blocked. It's not coming through. None of this here is coming through here and going this way, but it looks like it will be pulled like this direction. It's being pulled. I mean, you can see this being pushed that direction or pulled. Both. It's going to hit Florida. If it stays, like it is, it's going to hit Florida. It's going to go straight up and slam right into Florida, right where that orange spot that I just showed you is located. Right here, it's just going to hit. You can see where it's going to hit. It's because that orange spot shows where it's been hit before. That's what that shows. It's showing you some kind of detail on the Earth's surface, basically. When you see the change of color, there's a change in geology right below that somewhere. Okay, so yeah, that's going to come up, and I don't think it's going to push it this way very much. I think it's just going to go straight through and just nail the whole coast of Florida. I mean, just going to. You guys, I mean, that storm looks pretty big. I don't know. I've been watching it all week. This thing's is old already. I watched it start over here and watch it come over this way first down here, and then it come up like this or something like that. Pretty much it started over here, come over here, and I think it was this. It made it probably this far. I noticed it the other day, and then now it's going up this way, and it's gonna. Oh, man, it looks like it's gonna be pretty bad over there. It's gonna hit for sure. It's gonna hit there. There's nowhere else it can go. If the weather stays the same around the outside of this area like it is, if all this stuff continues to flow the same way, it's going straight into Florida. There's no way around it that I can see. But anyways, what was I talking about at first? Yeah, that's it. The spot right there, look at that. That's where it's going to hit. I predict right there. And if it goes up this way, it's going to hit right there in the Carolinas. If it makes it that, I don't think the weather would have to change around the outside of this whole area for it to go that way. I think it's going to hit Florida right where you see it, red right there. And I kind of guessed that this morning because I just brought this picture up just a minute ago, but I was looking at Null School earlier, not this morning, but just a little bit ago, and I was thinking that same thing. Because this is a great program. It lets you work out in your own mind what's going to happen. You know what I mean? You don't, because it gives you shows you the way everything's moving, so you can just kind of make your own map there of which way things are going to happen by direction things are being pulled. It's like you got to just look at these lines and see which way they're going to go. Make a guess, I guess. My guess is straight right into that spot. That's my guess. So, see if I'm right. And this one over here is a big one. This is a big area right here. See, and it's shaped just like that. I did this overlay accidentally one time. I had this picture I was putting down over something over here. I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but I wasn't trying to align this, and it put the picture right in place all by itself. And if you look at it, if you look at the curve there, that kind of looks like the Himalayan curve, right here. This line right here. See this line? Comes across. Looks like the Himalayan curve to me. But anyways, this is a seamount right out here. That's like one of the biggest ones on Earth, or is the biggest one on Earth. It's huge. And that picture that I was laying down for doing something else, it put itself in place. It just like snapped it down right there on that spot. I looked at it and I said, "Oh man, that kind of fits there." Yeah, because it does that sometimes. The program will do that. I got to pause for a moment. Okay, so anyways, this is a big one here. This is the big monster here, for sure. Big seamount, volcanic probably. The way that it creates these patterns all the time. The big eye, all-seeing eye. The Eye of Horus, basically. You can see it in the weather. You'd probably see it in the weather if I don't even know where to go to see stuff like that anymore. It doesn't really show like it used to. The weather used to show different. People think I'm full of it when I say that, but I've been paying attention to the weather every day for a few years now, at least 4. I'd say 4, 3. I'd say 3. Every day. 4. I don't know. Maybe probably more like 4. Yeah. So, but altogether 6 years altogether. Started doing it in 2010. So, anyways, it took me a long time to find confirmation for a lot of things, but it's basically confirmed that was an eruption here that created this storm. That is for sure. The earthquake swarm that they had there, all at the same time as this, the beginning of this storm right over here. It's just it's a bunch of hot water right there. It can't cool down because all this water around it is warm too. It's not able to cool down. If you could get it to well, maybe it might even be worse if it was cold. If this water was cold, I don't know the way it would mix or something. But it needs to balance. Once it starts spinning, that's it. Though I think there's no stopping it until it runs out of steam, which they always say that all the time. This storm runs out of steam. They say that, the meteorologists say that all the time, and that's because basically if you have an eruption at the ocean floor, and this is a deep trench in this area. There's a deep trench, very deep, very thin crust. There's definitely volcanic activity around these islands, guarantee that. And you had a big earthquake swarm, and then you have this start right at the same time. So that's an eruption. This here, there's something there too. I mean, there's something at all these areas. This showing you some crazy stuff. These lines here. I love this program. It's not representing weather actually, but it gives you direction, and it gives you a way to kind of envision the surface of the Earth in not a detailed way, but in a more like a more vast area, like the equator right here. The way it looks, it's just folding over. It's pretty interesting. I think that's pretty interesting right here. It's like there's like almost like a trench. It's like overflowing a wall or something and going down, and then this is doing something else. You know what I mean? It's just, but you can see the break, you know, the line there where it all changes. And then you got this here, which I think kind of looks a little bit like it's at the same angle as this, like this top. See how it's got this top curve, the crest of the like a wave, and then see how Hawaii's kind of got that same exact angle to it. It has something to do with Hawaii, that spot right there. I would say they're related in some way or another. Anyways, that's it. I just wanted to point those things out. I think, yeah, I think it's going to hit right where I said, that spot. Let me bring that back up one more time before I go. Right here. Oh, I wanted to show you this alignment too. All right, so this is you can see how I got the borders pretty well aligned. This is weather from like 2 years ago at least that. Okay, so you can see that I got the borders lined up pretty good. So I bring up this Mare Oriental right here, reversed image of Mare Oriental, and all I did was aligned it to those two craters right there. See the two craters? Right here, right there. I lined up those two craters, and that's it. That's all I aligned. And I know that's what they are. That's what they are. They go with those the weather goes with those craters right there. Because when you do this, and then you take away the borders, and you look at this over the top of this weather pattern, I mean, all I did was align the two craters, and then you see the inside of that. You see the whole thing is really there. How does it all fit in there? Just line up those two spots, because it has something to do with it. At this size, the moon at that size. See that? Look at the whole inside. Let me bring up this other picture too. One more. I got one more. So bring up this one. Same crater backwards as the drawing of the Mare Oriental Basin. Just line it the same way. And this will align all across North America. This crater will align across the whole country and everywhere else on the planet too. This crater that I just showed you, this Mare Oriental Basin, is what people used to see from the Earth. They'd look up at the moon, and that's what they would see facing them. And then there's other areas of the moon that have faced the Earth as well. But this is one of them areas that humans in the past could see from the Earth. This crater. And many more sides, all the sides of the moon have faced the Earth. So I'll end it with that. Have a great day.